On May 5th, which is 2 weeks later, that's when he decides to get to his Dexter and start chopping up the body. And they're saying that this was done by David. No, it's not. It wasn't done by anybody else. He didn't hire somebody else to do this. And it says willfully and unlawfully mutilate remains known to be human. So as of right now, it's just David that's being arrested for all of this.
Like, this nigga's cooked, bro. This nigga's cooked, bro. He's done. There's absolutely no way that he gets out of this. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is done. David's murder charges are horrifying. I don't know if y'all been paying attention or if y'all heard the news. When you find out what this nigga did, bro, it's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. We had covered this in one of my other videos previously and all that. Some of y'all were talking crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Like, the evidence wasn't significantly stacked against them in that comment section. But we gonna dive right into it, bro. Let's see what's popping.
They finally got him, and they finally gave peasants like me access to the criminal complaint for the arrest of David Burke, or David. And we're going to read through it. We're going to look at the counts that he got hit with. This was filed on April 20th. You can see the stamp. And the first
yesterday, bro, on Monday.
Count is, and they're talking about, they know the date where the murder happened, which is April 23rd, 2025, in the county of Los Angeles. The crime of murder, a felony, was committed by David, who unlawfully, with malice aforethought, murdered Celeste Ribas, a human being. The above is a serious felony. Upon felony conviction for the above offense, prison custody time is to be served in state prison. They send this, and this guy's in California. They send this 21-year-old guy that not only murdered, but allegedly murdered, but allegedly was cracked.
Yeah, he was grape. Yeah, he was doing that to a girl under the age of 14. Let that sink in, bro. This nigga is sick.
A teenage girl in California State Prison. It's a wrap for this guy. I'm not going to say anything too dark. Let's just say that. It is further alleged that the murder of Celeste was intentional and was carried out by David for financial gain. So they need a motive, and they're saying that his motive was financial gain. And they're saying the way...
How does that even make sense? How was he financially gaining anything out of that?
He killed her was he intentionally killed the victim by means of lying in wait within the meaning. So they were saying that he was just waiting for her, personally used a deadly and dangerous weapon and a sharp instrument, said use not being an element of the above offense. And I'm wondering how they figured out the way she died, because there was a bunch of contention between the medical examiner and they were trying to figure out the cause of death, because she was decomposed.
Yeah, so apparently, you know what I'm saying, her body was so decomposed. And by the way, she was mutilated. Let's get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? They found her body split in 2 separate bags, my nigga. 2 separate bags. And her body was so decomposed to where, like, they really couldn't figure out what the fuck had happened. Like, bro, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he was thinking, to the point to where he's like, let me just leave this in the car. Like, maybe he was like, oh, maybe he didn't have enough time to do the rest of what he was about to do. That's why he left her in the car. Because leaving her out in front of the car just doesn't make sense. But that's what I've been told about the basis as far as her, them not knowing why what happened to her, why they couldn't figure that out in time. It's because her body was so decomposed and all that to where they really couldn't distinguish it. And some of the evidence was gone due to decomposition. Which just gives you an idea how long she was sitting in there.
In a bunch of pieces. So now they're going back to how far their relationship goes. So April of 2025, they're saying that he killed her. And for count 2, it says on or between September 7th, 2023 and September 7th, 2024, so the span of a year, the county of Los Angeles, the crime of continuous SA in not the essay that these people are just randomly throwing out on Twitter, but real essay, was committed by David, who did unlawfully engage.
And bruh, they said continuous. This mean multiple times, bro, back to back. Like, ain't no way. I don't want to see none of y'all in the comment section trying to defend or stick up for this, because y'all was going crazy in my comment last time. In my comment section last time. Like, bro, I'm just going based off of the facts of what was given to me, nigga. Like, it's not my fault everything was stacked against this nigga. Like, it was every red flag just showing.
3 and more acts of substantial sexual conduct and 3 or more lewd and lascivious acts with a child under the age of 14 while the defendant resided with and had recurring access to the child. This is absolutely heinous. And of course, it says conviction of this offense will require you to register. This guy's not going to see the outside of a jail cell for the rest of his life. Most likely. I don't see this guy beating this case. There's no way in hell.
Nigga, I hope he don't get to see that shit. Like, real talk. This nigga don't need to see the light of day. We don't need him to step back out into this world. Because if he get away with this, like, if this nigga were to get away with this, best believe he gonna do it to somebody else, bro. And it'll just be an ongoing repetitive cycle. Then, you know what I'm saying? They just gonna have, this nigga just gonna have bodies stacked up, bro. Somewhere locked in his closet. This nigga gonna have real deal skeletons in the closet or in his Tesla. One of the two.
Of this offense will require the court to order you to submit a blood test for evidence of antibodies. So this guy had, and it's crazy because we read all of this and we saw all of the evidence, but we thought like, yeah, maybe there's no way that he actually had this chick living with him, right? And on top of that, for them to bring this count and this charge forward, they would have to have some sort of proof. Like the murder, of course, right? But to know that he was engaging in sexual conduct with her, where are you going to get that from, right? Like, there's no rape kit. You can't look up her DNA. The body was decomposed. There's probably none of his DNA on her. So what likely happened is you've got some cooperators. So there are some people telling, and there were a lot of people around David at this time. One of his friends had gotten arrested or detained before he got arrested, and he was later let out. So I think that guy got...
Shit, I didn't even know that.
Singing like a canary, this Asian guy that was cool with him, which he should be singing. But hey, if you ask Cameron on the infamous Vlad TV interview, if he saw this happening at his next door neighbor's house, he said he would just move he would just move to a different house in a different neighborhood. But yeah, I think we can all agree he should be singing for something like this. Or, I mean, just the fact that he knew that this was going on and he stayed cool with that guy, he should not even be allowed to testify and not get time. He should be getting time as well. Really, the only thing that you could consider, like, all right, this guy got himself out of the situation is if people saw this and they knew this was going on and they're just like, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. Like, yeah, they could have reported it to the police, but in this case, Cameron is kind of right, where he's like, yo, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I don't want no parts of it. But people knew, and they stayed friends with David, and they were cool, and they benefited from the situation. Now, you're not allowed to tell anymore. Then you have count 3, which was unlawful mutilation. So they're saying on May 5th, that was...
See, this is what I was telling y'all about earlier right here. This nigga done chopped her up. Like, do you know how that insane that is, man? To chop up somebody's limbs?
The mutilation of remains happened. So the murder happened on April 23rd. On May 5th, which is 2 weeks later, that's when he decides to get to his Dexter and start chopping up the body. And they're saying that this was done by David. So it wasn't done by anybody else. He didn't hire somebody else to do this. And it says willfully and unlawfully mutilate remains known to be human. So as of right now, it's just David that's being arrested for all of this. Like, we're not...
Like, this nigga's cooked, bro. This nigga's cooked, bro. He's done. There's absolutely no way that he gets out of this. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is done. And honestly, you know, with as long as they was taken to get this, like, to even get this out to us, a lot of people actually were considering and thinking that he might actually get away with it. But I'm just like, there's no way that this nigga gets out of this, bro, with this much evidence that was stacked against him in the first place. Because, like, they found the body in his Tesla that's registered to his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I doubt he let a friend borrow it. They've been talking for a little minute. You feel me? And then, like, the parents, like, parents, for real, what was y'all doing? They must have not given a fuck. That or this nigga could have been paying them off or some shit like that. But the parents clearly did not care to monitor Celeste at all. You feel me? Like, this whole situation is just unfortunate for her, bro. Especially as, like, a 14-year-old, bro. And just imagine, you know what I'm saying? The possibility of murderers out there that are like this.
An accomplice. We're not seeing somebody help him
Nobody
out.
probably know about
And
that shit.
we're also
man.
seeing that Steve Fisher, who is the guy that's been following this case, a missing persons investigator, gave his own comments on this and said, "Here are a few of my thoughts after reading the charging documents. First, it is alleged that on or about April 23rd, he committed the murder, and then on May 5th, he committed the crime. And that makes me think the Santa Barbara trip likely had nothing to do with the actual act of murder and dismemberment. The sex crime charges appear to cover the period between September 7, 2023 and September 7, 2024, which would correspond to the time when Celeste was 13 years old and have more serious sentencing. I've also reached out to the medical examiner since the court is authorizing the unsealing of the autopsy report, so hopefully we're going to get that soon, and the medical examiner's investigative report. The medical examiner has its own investigators who have jurisdiction over the body itself when a death occurs. So their findings will be important and should be a part of the records that are released." So yeah, that's one thing that we've always been wondering, which is, how do we find out how she actually died? And this is very concerning because if David did the dismemberment, so there was a gap in their relationship from, like, let's say September 7, 2024 until April of when that happens. I just still can't wrap my head around if this guy catches the body, right? He allegedly murders her. And then he waits 2 weeks, or I'm guessing he's doing his research online of how to handle this situation. And he reaches some sort of conclusion that
Doing research online on how to get rid of a body is fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. Shit.
dismembering the body. He dismembers the body, and then he puts it in the trunk and of the car, and then he just leaves it there because the car got towed, the Tesla. So that means that he left it in the car for months before it got towed, and then before people found it stinking for months later. And this is what just doesn't. I need the story. I need the prosecutor, to run us through this entire story, because if somebody is going to take 2 weeks to do their due diligence and figure out how to dispose of said body, as they're alleging here, because the dates are 2 weeks apart from when she died to when they're alleging that he dismembered the body. And what we also thought in the beginning was that he just put the body in the trunk and the body fell apart and it wasn't mutilated.
A part of me also thinks that this nigga clearly, obviously, just due to that, he clearly, obviously didn't know what the fuck he was doing either. Like, does that make sense? Like, in the event of it happening, like, he was like, okay, now I gotta figure out, because that explains why this whole thing is just all over the place and sloppy, and it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because this, hopefully he doesn't have more victims. You know what I'm saying? But this is probably the first person that he's ever done this to. This might be his first ever. You know what I'm saying? That's the only conclusion that I can draw there for why he would even to do something like that. Either one, he didn't know what to do next, or two, this nigga ran out of time because he had to go on tour or some shit. It's one of those two.
Because it just decomposed. So it decomposed and then it broke apart, as opposed to him cutting up the body and then putting it in there. But now they're saying that
I don't know if that makes sense though. Like if a body decomposes, right? Well, cause like your bones and all that are still going to be together. You feel me? Like I'm pretty sure it would take more time for your limbs to just fall off like that. In the event of so if you know about this in the comment section, somebody let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because like, have you ever seen like a dead like deer on the side of the road and all that? And like, you seen some decomposed carcasses on the side of the road, like dead deer and all that. They limbs still be attached even after some time. Like it's no. I just don't see that being the case with this. Hey, what's poppin', y'all? If you seeing this, 9 times out of 10, that's because my camera overheated. Also, just to let y'all know, we got a tab section under my Instagram for all the comments under there for all my supporters, specifically for y'all. I'm posting all of the positive comments from my supporters up there. So if you want to see yourself up there on my story, be sure to follow me on Instagram. With that being said, I'm out, y'all.
Cut up the body. So if he's going to do the research for 2 weeks, he's not going to realize that the body's going to start to stink. He's not going to realize where he should dispose of it, because somebody that's going to cut it up, they're not just going to leave it in a car. They're going to go to the effort of disposing of it somewhere. And
like
there's no way,
nigga,
like,
he had to run out of time
he just
or some
forgot.
shit.
Like, oh yeah, I just forgot that there's a body in the trunk. And like I said, he didn't cancel the shows or change anything from his plans when the car was first discovered. It wasn't until the identity of Celeste was revealed. And this is why this is still so confusing to me. That part is not as confusing anymore, because I think he may have just panicked and said, okay, I got to keep it going like everything's gravy. Like that body's probably really decomposed. Yeah, the car is tied to me, which is even crazier. But I'm guessing that he just wanted to keep up appearances at that point. But I don't think I've ever been more on the edge of my seat of figuring out more facts and details, especially how they're going to lay this case out to convict this guy. Because yeah, they're saying that the death penalty is on the table. It's just one.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They was gonna charge this nigga. They was gonna charge this nigga with the death penalty, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel like he deserved it. He deserved it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga's lawyer said they gonna fight vigorously to prove that he's innocent, that he didn't do it. You know, but whoever did do it, they deserve the death penalty for this shit. But they said they were gonna prove that he didn't murder her. You know, they can't defend. They said they couldn't defend all the other shit, but they said they were gonna defend the fact that he didn't murder her.
Those things that, yeah, they're saying it is, but even if he gets convicted, will he get the death penalty? Probably not. But one thing that there isn't a charge for,
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
Is like harboring a minor, which is like holding her while she was like living with him. And if they're saying that the sex crime charges stopped, they're given a gap of a full year, then that means that they didn't engage in activity like that from September 7, 2024. So I'm guessing that maybe she threatened him and was saying, because they're saying financial gain. So the only financial gain that could be had from her, because she was a broke, you can't even call her broke. She was a child. There's nothing that he could financially gain from her. There's only preventing her from ruining his career. And then they're also saying that his album dropped right after that too, which is really haunting. And it goes to show that while this is all going on, this guy's still recording these dark themes and music videos. as if nothing ever happened.
Bruh, this whole situation is crazy, bruh. If this nigga 100, I think it's out there in the box that this nigga did this shit. But, bro, he deserves a death penalty if this shit is true. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, bro. I'll see y'all on the next one. Hey, if you like the video, then like the video. And if you want to see more reactions, subscribe. I love y'all.
Shout out to my twin. Ain't never seen tears from a gangster, so why do I want me to cry? Fighting depression, talk to them spirits, use them judges that help me get by. But I cannot lie, yeah, that shit hurt me bad when I got that call, told me you died. Like how the fuck can they take you? Man, I hope I wake up, it's a lie.